Attention. The movie guys love movies. Any comments made about a movie whose release date may seem in bad taste in the wake of recent real-life violence are purely for entertainment purposes only. Isn't that right? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, too.
I tell you, it just doesn't matter!
That's always a good way to start a show with Bill Murray.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I gotta be honest with you.
With Bill Murray?
With that attention.
Well, yes, it's very serious.
It was.
Oh, yes. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, too. Pretty innocuous movie. Yeah. It's not going to be in the news for its release date or its subject matter or anything like that.
You can release that after a mall shooting in Kenya.
I think you can. That's what we're saying.
You can.
You can.
Perfect post-mall shooting in Kenya movie.
Probably how it was pitched.
You know, this is perfect timing for us.
I know you have a hole in your schedule.
Yeah.
Welcome to the movie Showcast, everybody. Part of the vast and sprawling movie guys empire. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. You've reached ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here on our show every week with rants, sketches, previews, characters, jokes, bits, special guests, and more. You can expect that in the next hour or so as we broadcast from the Admirals Club, an oasis away from the airport hustle. You know, I tried to use their exact, the Admirals Club's exact tagline there. Couldn't do it.
Can't even say it.
Couldn't do it. Well, we are on
Mr. Fancy's
iTunes.
been on a plane recently.
And you Freudian slipped and said, aware of the airport hustle.
That's because we never go to the Admirals Club. We're just aware of it.
We're well aware of it when the planes fly overhead. You will hear them. And we will ignore them. But if you're listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, we're also on YouTube as well. Search the movie Showcast or the movie guys and we come right up. And don't forget, we're also available on badtomato.fm and WBAD.net Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Quick plug. As if that wasn't one already, do us a favor. Whatever platform you use to listen to us or watch us, please subscribe and tell your friends to do the same. Like us, leave comments, all that stuff. And follow us at The Movie Guys on Twitter. And for 6-second movie reviews on Vine.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's all free.
The whole damn thing, it doesn't cost you a dime.
Nothing costs anything
There's
in
so
2013.
much entertainment for nothing. Paul Preston here with Lee Caius, Adam Witt, and Karen Volpe. Our special guest this week is actor and comedian Joe Nunez.
Woo-hoo!
And as ever, we will bring you our signature previews of what's new in theaters, prepping you for the weekend's films. Going to wide release this week is Ron Howard's Rush, which we previewed last week when it had its limited release. So if you want to check out last week's Showcast with Andy Peters, do that, and you can get a full preview of Rush. This week we cover the Food Punathon sequel, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, and later in the show...
Why'd you say yes to me?
I'm just gonna have to wait to find out.
All right, I got time.
You're cute, I like you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, you want to know the truth? You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
You like movies?
I'm going to talk
We
like
do.
this the whole show, just because I want to talk like her.
It's really hot.
Uh-huh. Oh, sure.
Anything hotter than Scarlett
awesome.
Johansson
Scarlett
asking if you like movies?
You like movies?
Good Lord,
God.
have mercy.
Wait, are they Southie Boston or
No,
They're
the Jersey.
Jersey?
Jersey.
Yeah.
I think she's doing whatever accent she thinks is sort of like that.
She is fiery hot in that movie. In that trailer, it's like...
The
can't
sexier
handle
thing
it.
is that...
Sorry, I'm sure you said something, Karen.
That's fine.
Oh, go ahead.
Damn, Scarlett Johansson's hot in that
Not
trailer.
a word on this. I have no...
What's that one coming up where she's the voice? She's like the Siri in its...
Her, the Spike
Her.
Jones movie.
Go.
Yeah, which should be pretty good.
She fell out of the sexy tree and hit every branch on the way down.
Nice.
Does that work much?
That's
Yeah,
Uncle Lee. That's
my
Uncle
God,
Lee.
it's Uncle Lee.
Uncle Lee, it is.
You know what? This is good, though. He's gone from Grandpa Caius to Uncle Lee.
Uncle Lee.
He's getting younger.
Making progress
An
here.
improvement? We'll see.
We'll see.
That line worked back in Korea.
Hershey bars and pantyhose.
That was a clip from Don John, I should say. But first up, there's a new comedy, and it's coming out, and it stars Bill Hader, Will Forte, Andy Samberg, Neil Patrick Harris, and Anna Faris. Want to see it?
Yeah.
Congratulations! You just bought a ticket to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Lee? Oh, Adam?
Or me?
Adam? Adam and I will talk about
Yes,
this.
Paul.
Sure.
Parents of the world, finally there's a solution to the giant hassle of having your 8-year-old hound you about taking them to see Insidious Chapter 2, a kids movie. You're welcome.
You don't need America's #1 movie news podcast to tell you that A Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 is the sequel to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Hell, you don't even need our podcast to tell you that. Here's a clip.
I think I'll name him Barry.
Sam, don't touch it. Put it down.
Seriously?
Oh,
That's a
ow.
clip.
Oh my God.
Wait, I think I can improve on that some.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll name him Barry.
Sam, don't touch it. Put it down.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, every trailer's better with
So
the
much
blonde.
better. So
Yes.
much better.
I was just hoping something fell on that kid.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs picks up where the profits of the last movie left off. The first Quack Home grossed over $250 million worldwide.
That's even more impressive when you realize that the worldwide figure doesn't include places where people might be offended by the flippant use of a plot device where food literally falls from the sky. Places like Ethiopia, North Korea, and Detroit.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 continues the adventures of inventor Flint Lockwood.
Slab bulkhead. Fridge, large meat. Punch, speed jump. Butch, deadlift.
And his wacky inventions that turn everything into food, like my mom at Christmas.
Oh, and stop the presses. Flint Lockwood invented a machine that turns water into food. Hey, Thomas Edison, it's called watering your garden.
Now, in this movie, Flint finds out the island of food created in the first movie is still alive and has been breeding into food hybrids.
Life finds a way.
Now, these food animal hybrids include shrimpanzees, fruit cockatiels, Sasquatch,
Oh, say that again.
Sasquatch, and the king of the jungle, the Tacodile Supreme.
All their jokes, right?
It's
Yeah.
all their jokes.
We didn't have to write this crap.
Now, it is a glaring indictment of GMOs in our food that no grad student is sure to miss.
It's the story Archer Daniels Midland doesn't want you to know. Food growing wildly out of control, bizarre mutations, and GMOs running amok to the point that mankind's very existence is threatened.
The gluconate guy, he's out of a job.
The informant, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
To catch you up,
Today's Lee Caius presents A Deep Cut.
Oh my God.
GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. No, we don't mean Chris Hemsworth. We're talking about real food here. Actual food you can eat.
Yeah.
Like Liam Hemsworth.
Yes.
When their initial plan, holding a music concert telethon to send Ethiopians to the island of food, doesn't work, Flint and his friends decide to go to the island themselves.
What seems to follow is the minimum required running time of 85 minutes full of food puns written by former writers of the Muppets and the Flintstones.
There are so many food puns and jokes here. I mean, they've included everything but the skunk and wash basin hybrid animal known as the kitchen stink.
Oh my God.
Win.
That one we made up.
That may be in there. We don't know. We haven't seen it yet.
Hashtag win. This island seems to be the ideal tourist destination for bringing together people who like to take pictures on safari and people who like to take pictures of their food.
Basically, this is how the world looks to Chris Christie. There you go. Now, the big question.
Yes.
Good Lord, that is a flourish.
Very fancy.
It's a whirlwind of information. It's reeling.
The big question being asked around the movie guy's office pool, of course, is this movie in 3D? Now, every month we write down all of the CGI animated children's movies that are coming out, and there's always a bunch every month. And we place bets on which ones are in 3D. And now I have the answers here to this month's office pool.
Oh, how exciting.
All right, so let me figure this out here. Let's see what we have here. And the answer is... It's in 3D.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's go around and see how everybody bet. Now, who will be the winner? Adam, what did you think?
I had that it was in 3D. I took 3D in the pool.
You did, all right.
Yeah.
And Lee, what did you have down?
I was going to go with Smell-O-Vision, but at the last second I went with 3D.
Went with 3D. And Karen, what did you come up
3D.
3D. All right, so let's see. So did I. So that's 4 for 4. Well, it's another tie. That's
Yep.
16
Yep.
weeks in a row of us all guessing that the kids' CGI animated film coming out would be in 3D.
Yeah.
You know, if you gave that to me in an ABC kind of thing, where yes, it is A, B is no, and C is maybe, then I might have gone with C because they always say to go with C.
Yeah.
But, I have trouble going against what is so blatantly obvious.
Do you like multiple choice questions?
I do like the multiple choice.
One of those testers? Are
Yes.
you?
Because
You know what
she
this-
likes freedom.
This four-way tie means that once again we
Yes.
all have to buy our own dinner.
Wait,
Hey.
can I help break the tie?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
It's
did you
very
not take-
exciting.
Joe, now that you know the answer, what do you
What do
think?
you think?
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, is it in 3D or not?
Take your time.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's
we're
smart.
is Italian.
That's a problem.
And no
'cause he's
drama here.
Not
No
an
drama
idiot.
at all.
Yes.
All right, well, listen, we're always ones to jump on the latest trends. We couldn't help but notice that the first Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was a huge hit. So we want in, which is why we, too, are combining food and the weather as we check in with our movie guy's food weather guy on the fives. That's right, movie traffic is on the 10s, but we'll have food weather here on the 5s. That's how we do it. Let's see what's happening in food weather with our food meteorologist, Lucky Charms. Lucky?
Well, yeah, thanks, Paul, Karen, Leon Sports. It's a wonderful day, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's a wonderful
Yeah,
day.
that's absolutely.
Go team.
Okay, let's see what type of week we can look forward to. Well, the satellite shows a fried food front moving down the southeast. Expect mild to light McNuggets throughout the afternoon, turning to Gorton's overnight, with a preheat index of 300 reducing to 250 for 15 minutes or until the center is cooked thoroughly.
Sounds like a scorcher.
Yep, it sure is, Paul. It's the only way to avoid trichinosis. Paul, Karen, Leon Sports. Now let's look at the 7-day. A cold cut front is coming in overnight. That's going to give you bologna all night long, changing to salami before dawn. By morning, it should dissipate into light capicola, giving you about 5 inches of Vienna meat.
Ooh, stay indoors, folks.
That's
and,
what you
I
said.
like
enjoy,
5 inches
right?
of meat.
Yeah,
That's
oh, yeah.
right.
It's gonna be delicious.
Okay, yes, yeah, absolutely. Tuesday, we've got 2 eggs, 2 bacon, hash browns. Wednesday, we'll see a flavor explosion. Thursday, I'd expect mostly a taste sensation. And Friday will be partly in your mouth all day long. Oh, excuse me, that's...
Well, that's because of all the giant meat we were just talking about, so it makes sense to me.
Is there going to be giant meat in your mouth?
I think partly.
There will be a party in your mouth
You know,
Of
all
giant
day
meat.
long.
both sound sexual now.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Lucky. And let's take a quick look at the traffic. It has traffic has the majority of Bensonhurst tied up in an unusual car chase that's seeing Gene Hackman chasing someone underneath the train tracks. Thanks to our scoop on the scene who called in with that. That's a lady crossing the street pushing a baby carriage. So there you go. Thank you, Rick. There you go. That's the new bit.
That was fantastic. I learned a lot.
Before we go deep into the conversation about, which no doubt it will be a deep conversation about Cloudy with a Chance of
we're gonna
Meatballs 2.
talk the shit out
we're
of
gonna
it.
go into that
We're
one.
gonna get off topic so quick. Hey, there's the pool. What's the over/under on getting off topic when we start talking about climate? All right, introduce Joe, and then we're taking that up.
Yeah,
3D.
3D.
So let me officially introduce our guest. He's a film and TV actor having a reoccurring role on Fox's Prison Break, as well as being in the films Bridesmaids, A 40-Year-Old Virgin, 7 Pounds. Give it up for Joe Nunez.
Oh, hey, thanks, you guys.
Thank you,
Dude,
Joe.
thank you mostly to our studio audience out here. You guys are,
I think the role that'll put you over the top, though, is probably Lucky Charms, the meteorologist.
Lucky.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. And can you please write the screenplay
Oh.
in 3D?
Matter of time. Matter of time.
Only in 3D.
No doubt we'll have offers coming to us for people to write the screenplay. So we'll just field them, and then we'll let you know how it goes.
I like the. Shh, don't introduce Joe until after the meteorologist, so that the illusion for the audience.
We want them to think that we have Lucky Charms right here in the studio.
But then afterwards, I'll demystify the whole thing and tell you it was actually Joe the whole time.
Please.
For any Chicagoans listening, that was your impersonation of
Tom Skilling.
Tom Skilling, of course.
A bad impression, but, you know, one of the...
I like it. One done with love.
I don't know how many people impersonate him, so he may enjoy it.
Well, I think all of us did time in Chicago, except Lee, right? You never lived in Chicago.
Never. I lived in Cleveland, which is like Chicago light. It's just like Chicago without any of the culture or the nightlife.
Or the cool people.
Or the cool people.
Yeah.
Other than that, close your eyes, it looks just like Chicago.
Or a winning baseball team.
Or a winning
Yeah,
team,
true.
or pride in their civic community, or, you know,
Nope.
clean drinking water. None of those things.
Cleveland's going to unfriend us from all that.
You do have Carey, what's his name?
Drew Carey was
Carey.
our biggest. Him and Steve Harvey. That's what we're hanging our hat on.
There you go.
And, I
Not
think
too
Halle
shabby.
Berry's from around there. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah,
Do you claim her?
Who is?
I do.
He'll claim her.
yeah.
Are you
Halle
kidding?
Berry. Yeah.
Oh.
She's from Akron, Canton.
Ooh.
Did they
Area.
make him that hot out there?
Yeah, but we ship them off right away.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
good.
should
Okay.
come out here.
It's like the Soviet Union. They recognize that early on in life, and they track her directly to Hollywood. They're like, get out of here.
Now,
You-
Joe, are you a lifer from? Well, no, you obviously don't live there anymore. You live here in L.A., but you grew up in Chicago.
Yes, born and raised in Chicago from an infant.
That's very cool.
You started out as a child?
Yeah, that's the best way to start.
As a baby, born and raised on the northwest side of Chicago.
So I think a bunch of us had to find out about like Second City and I.O. and all that sort of stuff. You know about that. When was like the first like comedy show you went to as a kid?
My mom took me actually when I was 11 or 12, because for a company outing, because my dad didn't want to go. So she dressed me up, put me in clothes, and took me to the Second City.
That is awesome.
Parent of the year.
Your dad.
Best way to have a 12-year-old in clothes.
Exactly. And at Second City.
It was amazing. I mean, I was actually horrified because we sat so close to the stage that whenever there was a huge laugh, it was a roar. And
Spittle? Did you get some spittle?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Richard Kind probably spit on me a few times.
Fantastic.
I believe that.
I was going to say, who is your cast?
Yeah, I remember Richard Kind, and he did a bit where he put his hand in his mouth, and I think he still does that.
Good Lord.
Probably.
You don't even have to ask him. He still does that.
He's in the producers, on Broadway, but they just work that in. I got to do it every show.
Anytime you have a stupid human trick, you've got to work it in.
Yeah. And then just growing up in Chicago, my buddies and I, we would, in the summertime, I would grow a beard like I have now, and we would go to the free improv set because we couldn't afford to go to the shows, and just buy pictures of old style, pictures of Budweiser or whatever. I would have the cash. The waitresses never ID'd us, but we drank and watched free improv growing up. So that was amazing, and just always wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, every night at 10:30, right? That free improv set was the greatest.
We would go there after we did Tony and Tina's because it's kind of like a complex where they have Tony and Tina's, the show there, and then they also have Second City and a bunch of Second City stages. We would finish Tony and Tina's and then take off our costumes as fast as we could and run over to Second City just as they were starting the free improv.
Oh, that's amazing. Didn't you guys have like a big Second City Tony and Tina's fight?
Oh, they did. I don't know.
Yeah, that must have been between
It was
production.
because a union thing. I think that Tony and Tina's went non-union, but they went with the restaurant union instead of the actors union.
I thought it was a street rumble.
They probably just threw down.
Has Second City taken over that space yet? The Tony and Tina space?
Whole damn building.
I was going to say.
Really? We haven't been back in a while.
I know they took over the movie theaters up, right?
Yeah. The movie theater's gone. They put offices. I think where Tony and Tina's is now the Up.
Oh, is that
theater?
The Up? Yeah.
Yeah, which is their brand new state of the art.
Really?
300 plus seat theater. It's like a beautiful brand new version of Main Stage.
Wow.
It's amazing.
No kidding. And it's a Second City performance venue.
Yeah,
we gotta get back there.
I know, right? We gotta check.
Yeah,
that
and
shit
they
out.
remember the Black Orchid, the other theater.
Yeah.
That was right next to it? That's all Second City offices, and the Martin DeMott Theater, I think, is part of the Black Orchid
cool.
too.
Yeah. That's cool.
What's awesome is I have nothing to do with it. No. I did. I worked there in the touring company for a few years. Did all the levels of classes. Eighth. God, it was like 2.5 years.
It takes a lot of your life.
Yeah.
The $1,000 T-shirt they call it. Right?
Yeah, we have all.
You get a T-shirt after all your classes
and a pizza party.
Who's in your classes? Who'd you meet in your classes? You still friends with anybody?
God, yeah. Matt Craig was in my class.
Oh,
that's cool.
We got to get him on the show. Yeah.
We're writing notes. Really, thanks.
Yeah. Not that we're not happy with you,
Yeah,
Joe. You're doing great so far, but we're already thinking
about. I'm just gonna make a note to get Matt Craig. Yeah.
I'll give you his number if you want to call him right now. Put him on the.
I'm gonna call him right now.
We should
Matt
put
Craig,
Matt on the
hang
phone.
on.
Yeah, a lot of people were there. The people that were on stage were the people that I think impressed me the most. Well, I mean, like Kevin Dorff, Rachel Dratch, Tina Fey. I mean, growing up to see those people. One of my best friends, Horatio Sands, was on ETC.
Oh,
Jerry
yeah, we
Minor.
saw Horatio. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Geez, I mean, that whole, I guess, class from, between ETC and Main Stage, Second City, kind of just went on and to fame and stardom. And then left, poor saps like me to.
But you're still working with one of them, so I want to plug your podcast, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you keep going back to Chicago every weekend in your head to root for the Bears. And you talk about it now on the show with Matt Walsh, who's also a big Chicago improviser, and Upright Citizens Brigade member.
Matt Walsh and Scott Armstrong, right? Yeah.
And myself and Horatio Sands are now one of our more regular co-hosts. And then we just have, it's pretty much like UCB Fest, where all of these comedians, Paul Scheer, we've had, other and stand-ups too, Andy Daly, Nick Swartz, and they just come in and do characters.
Yeah, nobody plays themselves. Nobody's
that's
on as
great.
a person. It's all
That's great.
different types of Chicago types.
It's a fake, Bears sports radio talk show where we have guests come on and we talk about what's happening currently in sports or what's not happening, what's happening in the world. and then these guys come in, and it's basically a panel of experts. If you remember their
Oh, totally. Yeah, and then you all just have your character.
We just tell the guy that comes into the mic, "Hey, you're this guy." And then Walsh is a genius at asking questions. Yeah, he's great. And we talk about the Bears for about 3 seconds.
Yeah,
then we say they're going to win.
Which reminds me, Adam, I think the over/under should be: will we ever talk about Cloudy versus?
I don't know why we would talk about that. The only connection I have with the Cloudy and with Joe is: do you have children at all? No, we don't either. So that you know of? Do you have any that you know of, or no?
Well,
no.
I am Latin. I am
the Latin blood.
I was just gonna say, I think maybe that's why we don't give a crap about these kid movies. Maybe because we don't need to find something to keep the big kid busy.
I will say this though, that's a funny trailer, and we laughed at it.
We did. That's true.
We laughed at the Cloudy with a
some of them are
meaty
kid
with a
filler.
Chance of Clouds.
Some of them transcend. Obviously, Pixar stuff transcends. Everybody
better.
in this room likes Pixar movies, or most of them.
I'm a huge apologist. Yeah, I almost don't give any other things a chance until recently when I saw stuff like How to Train Your Dragon, which is a great DreamWorks animated movie. Kung Fu Panda's good. So then it's like, all right, who else? What else does everyone deal in? Arthur Christmas was good. Of course, that's Aardman. They've been around
Bolt
forever.
was good.
Yeah, that's Disney without Pixar. So the other guy, now that the market's expanding to where more than just Pixar putting out good movies, and this one obviously a huge hit. So
Rango was good.
Right.
Anyway,
won the Oscar.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Won the Oscar. Can't go wrong with that.
Something's got to.
And it would not suck. It would not suck to be a voice in one of those movies. How fun would that be?
It was great.
Yeah.
I did play
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I played the frog that tells Depp's little lizard character not to move. I say, don't move. I'm a desert frog.
I love it.
I set the tone of the film.
Good. Well, it's
at the
blend
beginning where he jumps out of the truck, where he falls out of the truck or whatever.
Where he's being chased by the hawk in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a frog.
That was you.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized you.
Yeah. And that was
voice,
amazing
right?
because we got to act it out with Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
You guys were
I
all
was
there
just
for the
going to ask
recording
if
session?
he was there with you.
Big soundstage. This big fake cactus and big fake tumbleweed and.
Okay, I just have a question, Joe.
That's
How
fantastic.
long were you going to go into our show without mentioning the fact that you worked with Johnny Depp? Oh, had we not run?
Hey, well, we got to.
Yeah.
Did you read the IMDb so that you get an idea of what he's done?
Joe's done a ton of stuff.
Finally.
Yeah,
let's go one by one.
We could go on.
We want to get some stories from some of these things. Now, okay, so now the interesting thing about that movie is it's Gore Verbinski, the director of Pirates of the Caribbean, but he did an animated movie. I mean, so you got to be directed by Gore Verbinski.
The whole damn movie was done by ILM. The whole movie was animated by ILM, which was, I guess, the first time that ILM had ever
beautiful.
Animated an entire feature, because they usually do the special effects for like in Pirates of the Caribbean. They had only the swirly octopus face guy, whatever his name was.
Yes,
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones. Yeah.
So that was an interesting experience, just being jumping around, acting. It reminded me of beginning improv classes where you had to get the spine, work in the spine of the animal that Marty DeMott, said that you were.
Yes.
And basically just crawl around, and then cameras all around us, and then Depp, just going it over and over, improvising it.
Oh, fantastic! How fun is that?
So they were taking photo reference of your face to animate it too?
Yeah, they had cameras on
your
our faces.
Dots on your face?
No, they didn't have that.
Just
it wasn't.
Mocap.
Motion capture.
You didn't
it was
get to wear.
Emotion capture.
You didn't get to wear a sexy green one piece.
Didn't have to, but he did.
I love it.
It's funny. Depp showed up so hungover.
Right?
He was crazy hungover.
Did he eventually get a little more animated?
Yeah.
Jake, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did
see
there.
What I did there?
That was
Fine.
funny.
Does he
You
sort
guys
of
are all stupid.
So that sort of half Hunter S. Thompson guy that Johnny Depp seems to be. Did he
talks
turn
like
that
that.
on? Yeah, or that's just him.
He talks like that. He's like, "Oh, how you doing, Joe? You did a great job the first day." And
I really want to know, how many scarves did he have on his belt?
Oh, I think too hungover to lace them all
No
through.
he went scarfless.
No scarves.
Wow.
By
We
the
wore
way-
comfortable clothes because we had
Yeah.
to jump around and
Right.
run around and stuff.
Jammies.
perfect tangent.
Yeah.
That I think the new level of fame, like you're super famous when someone, because I saw this recently on Hollywood Boulevard, you are actually famous when someone on Hollywood Boulevard is playing you casual. There's a guy on the Hollywood Boulevard who's playing Johnny Depp casual.
So not like Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
Johnny Depp. What?
On a Sunday.
I thought it was him.
Johnny at Starbucks.
Have you seen it? Have you seen just Johnny Depp casual?
That's fantastic.
Anyway.
Yes.
Jim Carrey, are you Ace Ventura? I'm just Jim Carrey
Jim
at the store.
Carrey, hanging out, going shopping.
I'm at Ralph's.
You know what would be
Jim
great?
Carrey casual.
If they just had Jim Carrey just doing like this. Who are you? Jim Carrey trying not to have paparazzi take pictures.
Yeah, the normal guy just walking
Normal
down a
guy.
red carpet. All right, well, there we go. That's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
There you go.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
That's how we do this, Joe.
I love this show.
We give a lot of information to people.
The one soundbite that I wanted to hear was
yeah.
Soylent Green is people. It's
I don't have
I'm like, do you have it?
No, I have more meatballs.
Just record me saying
I always do. Bill Murray.
I'm your head counselor.
I'm your head counselor.
Yeah, every time I type the word meatballs today, I just want to hear meatballs.
And the kids wanted animals, so this year each camper will stalk and kill his own bear in our private wildlife preserve.
I could do that all day. I need a show where all I do is play Bill Murray clips.
Although actually, it's kind of weird to say Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 because Meatballs 2 sucks.
Corey Feldman, right?
John Larroquette.
Is
No,
he
he was the
two?
third one.
Third one, yeah.
All right, well, listen, let's get on to our next film. I don't know exactly how to describe it. You heard a clip earlier. It sounded like a romantic comedy because some trailers make it seem like it's that. Some make it seem like it's a sex comedy, so we're not sure exactly what we're watching. I think it's about both of those things coming together in a little something called Don John. Now, Lee, you will join me on this one, right?
This one is me.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, star of such movies as everything that came out last year, has written and directed his first feature film, Don John.
In the movie, Levitt plays Mark Wahlberg playing John Martello, who, according to IMDb, is a New Jersey guy dedicated to his family, friends, and church, but who develops unrealistic expectations about love and romance due to watching too much internet porn. And by unrealistic expectations, we mean that during sex, he tries to bookmark her, then refresh her, and then he holds his orgasm while the buffering catches up.
John has a way with the ladies, thus earning the nickname Don John amongst his Jerseyite bros. The runner-up nicknames were Scarface, Tony Montana Scarface, and Al Pacino from The Godfather John.
This movie takes place in some alternate universe New Jersey where the film trailer has no Bruce Springsteen music. John plays a typical Jersey jamoke, caring more about how he looks in the car he's driving than what he wants to do with his life.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time, and you hit it.
And you hit it.
All of a sudden, he meets the girl of his dreams, Barbara, played by the girl of every man's dreams, Scarlett Johansson. The two share one thing in common. She's a movie gal, and he's a movie guy.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
But they differ in the type of movies they like. For example, she likes romantic movies where love conquers all to bring these star-crossed lovers together.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
And he likes porn.
I'm dropping fucking loads all over your fucking glasses.
And things couldn't be going better for the young lovers until John's obsession with looking at naked girls on the internet threatens his relationship. And in the ultimate twist of O. Henry irony, Barbara catches John jerking off to internet porn, specifically nude pictures of Scarlett Johansson.
Now, if JGL, the director, had anything to do with the trailer, then the outlook might be good for his vision, as it has a pretty catchy hook.
My body, my pad, my ride, my family, my church, my boys, my girls, my porn.
Now this really stuck with me because it sounds almost identical to one of my daily audio diaries. My girl I used to date on Facebook, my procrastination, my excuses, my church,
I'm the dude, so that's what you call me.
my Breaking Bad.
It's good to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt back where he belongs, in our hearts, but also on the big screen, which is as close as I can get since the restraining order.
You and me alike.
Tony Danza says 4 words in the trailer, and already I can tell he's going to steal the show.
Angela, Samantha, Mona, Jonathan.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
This film.
All four of those Will Sasso.
Yeah, those are all
Even Tony Danza.
Will's impersonation.
Another good reason to go to Vine.
Exactly. This film premiered at festivals earlier this year, and we have a review from a former child star about Levitt's first directorial debut and effort. It was okay. You could make a film like this, or you could just do nothing for 20 years. No shame in either one of those things. Danny Pintaro.
Well, there you go.
Wow. All right.
Deep reference. You see, Danny Pintaro was the little kid from Who's the Boss.
I think David Faustino would have gone.
David Faustino might have worked.
Yeah, but he's done stuff.
Has he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Name.
He literally is a giant nothing after Who's the Boss for Danny Pintaro. Like 3 things recently. Like The Secret Life of the American Teenager or something.
What do you do after
David
that?
Faustino's like, go fuck yourself, Joe.
No, but like, I've always wondered about this. Maybe Joe can tell me. He might know people have done this. So it's one thing to be a struggling actor and getting jobs, and you're always working towards the next job. It's another thing to have.
It's okay.
You understand how that works. It's another thing to be on Who's the Boss and
We're
be
not
a little
paying you,
kid,
Joe, by the way.
and to have success and know what it feels like to be on a successful show. Do you go back to working at Pizza Hut? What do you do? How do you deal with yourself?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go to college and become a doctor or a lawyer.
Well, that's true. There's a whole lot of other life out there. Gotta save some money, right?
Isn't there someone that became an agent or something for child actors?
Oh,
An
that
agent or
would
a
make
manager?
sense because they knew what it was like. Maybe they could make it better.
Peter Billingsley, right? Peter Billingsley went off and became a
Who's who?
producer.
Wait, Chunk from Goonies.
Oh, Chunk from Goonies.
Jamie knows everything. She's telling
He
us
became
it's
an
Chunk
agent.
from Goonies.
I'll be damned. He
That's
also
right.
lost
Lawyer,
weight, right?
something like that, yeah.
I mean,
So
from when he was a kid.
he no longer could be called Chunk.
Yeah.
He lost weight, became one of the Connolly brothers.
What does that mean?
We never know what he's
What
talking
does that
about.
mean?
Isn't there two
This show
Connolly
needs a
brothers?
goddamn
in
title.
Connolly.
Who's the one?
The fat one from Stand By Me.
Oh, Jerry Connolly.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yes.
You say the Connolly brothers, like
Fucked up
you
your
know, like
reference.
or O'Connell.
Is this a movie show? What the hell's happening?
Jennifer
I gotta be honest with you.
All right.
Halfway through that joke, I realized I was in trouble because I didn't remember the real name.
I'm always in trouble when I start joking.
O'Connell.
Hey,
Jerry
I
O'Connell.
also.
But didn't Jerry O'Connell lose a bunch of weight and got all hunky?
did.
Yes, he
Okay,
hunky.
it's true.
and
This is
hunked
all
out.
I'm trying to get.
From
at.
And
Chunk
he
to
married
hunk.
a hunk. Didn't he marry the
He was exactly
fat
correct.
Rebecca Romaine.
Rebecca Romaine Stamos? Well,
Well,
then,
he got the leftovers from
Romaine.
John. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong
No.
with that.
Now, so
Back to you, Joe.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think people go up? Okay, this is a question for Joe. So,
All
like,
right.
do you think he's sick? Do you think people go up to him and say, "Do the truffle shuffle"? Right? He's got his, Chunk did the truffle shuffle from.
Oh my
Goonies,
God! Can
right?
you imagine starting your meeting with an agent that
Oh.
way, and you know it's Chunk, and you go, "Hey man, look, can we do the
Do the
truffle
truffle shuffle?
Be like, get the fuck out of my office, like
Joe,
immediately.
do you ever get last to do line? Who do you get recognized on the street? Do people? What do people most know you from?
Super bad.
Yeah.
By far. And I know it's like, fuck my. I'm sorry. Can I?
Yeah.
Do it. Yes.
Oh, we insist.
We love it.
You should have.
Well, yeah, they scream at me. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. You're the fuck my life guy. I'm like, this is my mom. This is my grandmother. This is my 8-year-old niece.
You know, I've always wondered this about famous people because I hear the story about them being somewhat accosted on the street. You're that guy. Do that thing, and that literally happens to you. They literally just yell the line at you.
Yeah, they yell the line. Well, and then the cell phone photograph comes, and then hey, can you Facebook friend me? And I'm like, well, later. But I tend to not sit there and be a monkey and just ask
That's
repeat.
good of you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm kind of on my way. I'm in a rush. I love having people stop and if they get excited, I'll
Yeah,
of course.
that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you work for.
Well, not that.
Well,
I work for money.
Money, of course, and women. Understandable. But I mean,
I gotta pay the child support for all of my
All of those children
Latino babies.
we're
yeah.
talking about. Yes.
That's a callback.
Yes. Thank you.
And a sore subject. We
And
brought up on
apparently,
here.
whoops.
You're gonna have a lot of Facebook friends you didn't expect.
He
Now-
goes to all these kids' movies. I didn't realize.
Back to Don John, which
Yes.
could sound like a
Yes.
mob movie if
Yes.
you don't know the difference.
Oh, the Don.
Yeah, this you're dating Scarlett Johansson. I think one of the things is he
That was-
keeps masturbating.
That was my
right?
problem. Whenever I watched the preview, the first thing I thought of when we were done watching it was, all right, you are dating Scarlett Johansson, and even if she's playing a character, it's still friggin' Scarlett Johansson. And then you're going to go and masturbate to porn that will not be as hot as Scarlett Johansson.
No.
People in real life, these guys, are masturbating to Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if that's bad, bad
hold on there,
casting
sis.
on their part. These guys all the time.
Take
I'm
it easy.
telling you.
Take it easy.
Boom.
You mean the royal you?
The royal, these guys.
That brings up another point.
Even I
The
masturbate.
royal these
All
guys.
of us masturbate to Scarlett Johansson.
Okay,
I'm
as
just
long as you're
saying.
in on that.
But yeah, none of us will ever get Scarlett Johansson. I don't think even.
He's so busy masturbating, he could have more of her. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know who did?
Uh-oh.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ah.
And got tired of it.
Eternal shake your fist at that guy.
I mean, that's the
Two
that's
guys,
the
a
phrase,
pizza
right?
joint, whatever.
Somewhere there's some guy tired of fucking that. That should be the name of this movie. That should be the subtitle.
Don John. Somewhere there's some guy tired of fucking Scarlett Johansson.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Even with that like hot little bitches of New Jersey housewives or whatever.
Oh yeah, her
that
accent she's got going on there. Yeah.
It's pretty. I think it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting though that you said we all masturbate to Scarlett
Sure.
Johansson?
I'd
Isn't it
think
interesting
about
though that the truth is, more people probably masturbate to total strangers than celebrities. Don't you
What-
think?
okay, that's a
because
weird
celebrities
rebel-
aren't jumping into these into this porn and doing porn scenes, but you turn on whatever porn, it's like amateurs in bed. You don't know who they are, but
Nope.
there you go, right?
You just
And
look for a
even-
body style that you approve of. And
Exactly.
Adam's actually the king of porn. When we were doing a movie guys,
Well, that's what they called me in the bowling league. But go ahead.
we were doing a movie guys show a couple of years ago. We do a big specials for Christmas, and we needed Santa to be looking at some porn, and I was trying to pick up a picture of like I'm on the internet looking for boob or something. I don't know. Adam
Karen,
just
search
goes,
boob.
step aside. I can
Anything come up
find.
there?
I
Anything
got like
come up.
whatever. So Adam's just like, no, I can get to the good porn. I'm like, ooh, no time at all. He had the good porn.
Yeah,
up.
but you don't have like membership. Or
I'm a
anything,
little
do you?
too good at it. No,
No,
it's all.
fuck no.
it's all
But that's
free.
what makes him even better. He gets it for free.
I've gotten to the point where going to a legitimate movie and watching a movie in a theater where there's any sort of sex.
I
makes
just
me-
want you to know you're on the verge of Grandpa Caius.
Grandpa's back because I get uncomfortable sitting next to total strangers watching, like a movie where there's sex going on. I don't need that.
Yeah, now you got me thinking about that.
Oh,
I
God.
heard
Did
you
I ruin
say
it?
that once, and I was in the movie theater watching it, and sex happened, and I went, "Oh, what?"
But
I started looking around, like, "What's going on here?"
Think about it.
Is
It's
everybody
such-
cool with this?
It's such an odd experience that we're all 40 or 50
Fine
of
with
us are all
that.
just going to sit here and watch these people have sex. Now,
I'm totally comfortable with that.
great
Joe
social
and I are
convention.
fine.
You'd enjoy Amsterdam. Yes.
Hey, I'm cool.
I'm cool with that.
It's a private thing. I want to, run
Did
off.
you ever have that moment where you're younger and you're in a movie with your parents and then
Yes, that's odd.
Ew, no.
No?
What? That was
No.
there's like a sex scene
And
happens
you have
and
to
your parents
pretend
didn't
you
know,
don't
right?
see it. Yeah.
Yes, like your parents were very cool, Joe, for taking you to see Second City. My parents were like super straight-laced, butch-wax, tie buttoned up type folks. Yet for some reason they took me to see Vacation.
Oh man.
And then Christy Brinkley jumped in the pool naked but they didn't do anything.
That's a
I was
great
really
topic. Your
surprised.
first R-rated movie, Joe.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. My mom. It was a mistake. My mom thought she was, we went to the Will Rogers Theater in Chicago a lot because they showed kid movies. But she thought she was taking us to see a Rodney Dangerfield movie, but it was
How can that possibly be a good thing?
Was it Back to School or one of those?
Well, she thought she was taking us to see a comedy, but it was the Tom Cruise movie.
Color of Money?
No, the one that was shot in Chicago.
A Risky Business.
Risky
Oh,
Business.
that's-
She
Risky
thought
Business.
that was a comedy, and that train scene happened. Well, the prostitution and all that.
In general, yeah.
Yanked us out of there.
Aw, too
So mad. And there was a family I remember a family were walking in right before us. A family with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Bucket of chicken.
And
Two-
Risky Business.
Oh,
Cheaper
I
than
love
popcorn.
it.
What was
Makes
yours,
so
Adam? What
good.
was your first rated R
The
movie?
Jerk.
Oh, that's a
So
good
cool.
one.
Yeah.
In the theater.
In the theater. Yeah. Oh, God. And I love that. I mean, that was like everything Steve Martin does appeals to a 7-year-old or 8-year-old or wherever I was, you know. What was that, 79? Yes, something like that.
Mine was Stir Crazy.
Oh.
Gene Wilder. and
Wilder.
Richard Pryor. Yep.
All right.
Went and saw Stir Crazy with the family.
There's some language going on in that.
Yeah, it was all language issues. It wasn't any nudity or anything there, but
Well, soon after Vacation, my brother took me to see Stripes and History of the World Part 1.
Oh,
And by
that's awesome.
by 84, I had started just bringing my grandma down, and she would buy like 4 of us tickets to like Purple Rain and all that. So we would.
That's awesome.
Eventually, grandma was just in charge of it.
I didn't get to go to the movies when I was really little, so I started going, when I was like 16 and stuff. So I saw some good stuff. The very first one I saw, a sex scene was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and to this day, I still get little hot when I hear that song.
Oh,
He must have been somebody's
the Phoebe-
baby. I'm all like, turn it on and let's have sex.
Or how
I
about
love
the
it.
Phoebe Cates scene?
Yeah, it's
Comes out of the
hot.
pool.
Oh, that's hot too.
Classic.
Oh.
And Judge Reinhold is masturbating.
A lot of good sex in that movie.
She is a vision of perfection in that
Yeah.
movie. And Phoebe
And she-
Cates in Fast
And
Times.
she's got that great smile where she's like, I know you find me hot.
Oh.
You want some of this? And you're like, okay.
But speaking of
Yeah.
movies and like introduction of nudity in front of parents, I grew up with HBO, which totally wrecked that dynamic because you never knew when it was going to happen. You could be in the back room.
Yeah.
I left so many rooms with a pillow over my crotch because we're watching whatever's on HBO. I'm like, holy crap, Mom and Dad just walked in. Now I got this.
You'd watch that
And
shit
not to
when it
make
was
it-
scrambled, right?
Yes.
Not to make you feel bad, but I walked out with a whole couch.
Couch.
Whole bucket of chicken. Oh.
There was a show called The Hitchhiker.
Yeah. I remember that.
And it always had one amazingly erotic scene in it, and then it had something else to do with a guy hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens if you hitchhike, right?
Yep.
Everybody knows that.
Ah, porn.
We're so well adjusted.
Well, it's interesting that this movie uses porno movies to take on the subject of a love of movies in general, because our love of movies verges on porn. I think we could all say that.
Sure.
Which is why we're so excited to have discovered recently the Adult Movie Hotline. Now, you're thinking to yourself, this is about adult movies. No, it's not. It's just a 1-900 movie hotline for adults.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
We use it to get all the movie plot information that we share with our listeners on the show each week. It's pretty simple. You just call in. Now I can Skype in.
Oh,
Yeah,
kind of exciting.
because that would be an antiquated reference.
Yeah,
If we were
exactly.
to call in the
I can
1-900
Skype
number.
the 1-900 number.
What's a phone, old man?
Who remembers
Dick.
1976.
1976?
I do. 976 Evil was a great
There you
horror
go.
movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Wow.
And all you do
Jamie's
is
too young.
you
She
just
doesn't
say the movie that you want to know about, and
Oh.
well, then you can get off on the plot pretty much. Here, let's
All right,
try it.
let's see.
Let me call in here, and I'm going to say, Lee, this will appeal to you.
What is it?
A Few Good Men.
In the heart of our nation's capital, inside a steamy courthouse, two dangerous men go at it. One man sweats inside the jury's box, defending his honor. The other stops at nothing to penetrate the mystery of a code red. You will not be able to handle the truth of a few good men. You will be able to handle it.
Just when I thought I couldn't want to see that movie more.
That's a
again.
good service.
Yeah.
That's
a pretty sexy rendition.
Oh, let's do one for Adam, because I know he likes,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, what would you call your style of movies? I don't want to say geek movies. That's just not.
Don't say that.
Like a,
I'm into all
Geek
the.
chic.
It's called good
sci-fi,
taste.
I'm into obsession.
sci-fi. Now, let me try that. Let me try Tron. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Tron. Love Tron.
I love the music. A hacker obsessed with computer pleasure is forced to play manly gladiatorial games. His only chance of breaking the bonds of master control is to hook up with Tron, an impenetrable, sensitive protection in this dangerous world.
Oh, well, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
good.
that
one.
actually sounds better than what I remember Tron
I don't want to
being,
pull the curtain back here
actually.
too much, Karen,
I was
but
gonna
I
say.
think you missed your calling. I gotta be honest with you.
Why, thank you.
But
Yeah.
here's another one.
It's
This
as
is
if they can make any movie sexy.
I'm gonna be calling you tonight, Paul's like, what do you call it? I just
I'm going to read you the
can you
TV
read the weather,
guide.
Karen, please?
Read the school outings.
I like that. You said that can make any movie
I think
sexy.
you can make any movie sexy.
Let's challenge it.
All right,
let me
that's good.
let me just say Munich.
In the aftermath of Black September, 5 men are chosen to seek revenge against those who murdered 11 Israeli athletes at the Munich Olympics.
Nope. Guess you can't make everyone sexy. Nope. Munich is you can't make Munich sexy.
That wasn't
Damn it.
sexy. Not nearly as
Gave
sexy.
it a shot.
I
No
think Munich
fault
was
of
hot
yours.
without that voiceover.
See? It's
Did you
already
take your lady
hot.
to Munich?
He does.
It just depends on,
It depends
where
on
you
which-
come from, where you're
Your
come
background.
From.
Where
Yeah.
you
I didn't like
come
Munich.
from. You're so funny.
Yeah.
Wait, don't ever say
Oh
that.
wait, hang on a second,
Oh
guys.
no!
Oh, what's
Alert
this?
of some kind.
there
I think
something?
I think we have a weather watch from the Showcast's food meteorologist, Lucky Charms. Lucky, what do you have to report?
Well, hey, Paul, Karen, Leon Sports. The Doppler sky mouth has alerted us that the cold cut front was worse than we thought. And we are now under a weather watch as the meat sleet is raining down in sheets all over Flavor Country. We have got a food watch. Sorry, guys. Flash food is predicted for the following counties: McHenry, Lake, Kankakee, and Grundy. Those in the affected areas may want to prepare with the mustard or mayonnaise of their choice. The National Sneeze Guard will be available for serving suggestions to the affected areas. Stay tuned to the Movie Guys Showcast as the food weather event develops.
All right, thank you for that, Lucky. That's good to know.
That's wait, now that's a watch, so
Yes.
Not a warning.
Could
It's
get
not
worse.
in the
it
area.
could get worse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's take a quick look at traffic.
That's
It should be
important.
noted that San Francisco is a real mess right now.
Oh.
Steve McQueen is racing through the streets trying to track down the mobster who killed the witness who was in McQueen's protection. So just stay in your homes.
Everyone just stay inside. It's
All right, let's talk to Joe proper
That was
here.
so dumb. Yes.
I want to give you a question that we ask every guest on our show. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's unfair to ask me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, some people have problems with it.
I give you this narrowing of scope. What's the one movie you can sit down and watch over and over again? Doesn't have to be your favorite movie, just the one you can go to.
Oh, I mean, war epics are are big in my home. I mean, I love a good war epic.
Longest
that's really
Day.
Especially a Star War epic.
There you go.
I have to say, Star Wars completely changed my life.
No, you're right.
And
Yeah.
every
That's right.
time you watch that first one, it's just, I mean, well, all of them really, but some people say, what about Jedi? But just the first one, the perfection of that first one is just unbelievable. It's such a journey.
Yeah, and that was probably the first PG movie I saw in the theater. My dad, after going to all these cartoon G-rated
And
stuff, my dad
R-rated,
said,
apparently.
"Hey, let's go see this big space movie. It's supposed to be really cool." And off we went. And, it changed my life.
I would. I'd like to actually campaign to get in the new Star Wars movie.
Oh,
The
you'd
J.J.
be great in
Abrams.
that.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
Yeah.
It'd be like the second, actually, Latino in space.
You'd be a great
Who was the
Latino
first?
in
Jimmy
space.
Smits.
Jimmy Smith.
There you go.
Even though he doesn't sound very Latino. Smits.
Did they have any of those aliens? Because they all sort of had ethnic-sounding voices and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there like a Latino one in the
Did you know
Phantom
about
Menace
Quado?
or whatever?
The closest, I think, was that flying bug
Yeah,
one.
Quado.
Andy!
Did you like that character?
I thought it was
As a Latino?
I thought it was severely racist.
I found them all racist.
I thought he
and
was doing like a weird
It was
Italian
weird.
thing, but,
Yeah, I just didn't quite understand any of that. But that was me. Of course, then again, maybe I'm just
Did
white
you
and
like any
stupid.
of the prequels?
The prequels, yeah,
I still see lightsabers.
He's
That's
going
my
for
thought.
Yeah.
rolling a new one, so he loves them, right?
Oh, I love.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
love the prequels. I just wish Darth Maul hadn't died so quick soon.
Hey, spoiler alert. Some of us.
Oh,
Jeez,
Grandpa
Joe.
hasn't
That
seen
could
it
be
yet.
your that could be your origin story, because I hear that after this new Star Wars, they want to do some origin stories. Maybe Han
Yeah.
Solo, Boba Fett, and they could do. Well, I think we might have seen Boba Fett.
Who would you like to
but
play?
Darth Maul, maybe.
What would you like to play in Star Wars?
I'd
Hunter?
like to play a Sith. I'm Team Sith all the way.
Yeah.
I'd like to play some bad guy for sure. Maybe, I mean, I'd have to work out and stuff, so forget
I mean,
it.
of all the acting roles,
Take it back. Never done.
Forget it.
holding a lightsaber,
Yeah. Right.
Of all the acting roles,
A red
like
one.
you like. There's a great behind the scenes thing of like when they gave Ewan McGregor his lightsaber, and it's just like the idea of being given a lightsaber. It's almost like risen to the level of an actual Jedi giving you your lightsaber.
I think it'd be cool as hell to like be trained, to, to be in a lightsaber duel.
To
You
fight
know,
with a fake sword? That'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's so brilliant because if any of you've probably done this because you're an actor. All of us have learned some stage combat and that kind of thing, and it is very complicated to do dueling with like dagger and a sword because you have to do it very specific. But what a brilliant idea to say, all right, we can make it a little easier. All you do is hold the handle, and then we do some choreography, and we'll put that other part in later. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
They have full swords.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Or like
they're banging things together.
Yeah.
Extensions from the handle so
Yeah.
that they can
Oh,
actually
okay.
click.
So
Yeah,
they
'cause
actually
how hard
click.
would
They
that
don't have
be?
to fake it. All right.
Hey Joe, when
That's
you were
cool.
a kid, or Paul, did you have before they had like kind of cool technology like kids have now, where they like whip out their sword and everything like that? The fake lightsabers from like 79, 80.
Oh, that go.
It was a flashlight with a piece of colored paper over it
Yeah.
and a big, long, sort of half translucent. The light would barely make it all the way
Yeah.
down. Did you ever have that one?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The one I had was blow up. So
Oh,
you
the
blew it
blow-up
up into the
one.
full size,
That's
but
not
it was still a
phallic.
flashlight.
I know that's totally dirty, right?
All right, let's go from one of the greatest movies of all time that we all saw many years ago for the first time to
What did you see? What did you see this week? That song still, it seems very vaudeville to me.
Can I ask for a re-record on that?
I want to re-record on that
Maybe
one
just
too.
a different reconception.
Please, please.
I keep meaning to bring it up. I don't want to be a dick, but
No, I'm in it. I'd like to. I always comment it and go, what's happening? Why is it happening in life?
All right, Dix, what are we going to do about it? Give me your thoughts.
I don't know. Maybe we could do you doing. What did you see this week? Or whatever that is. When you
go rock.
Yeah, the rock one.
What did you see this week?
Little Cypher Rage.
Cypher
Do
Rage.
little sticks. Give me some sticks version of what did you see
that's your job.
this week.
Oh, I like that.
Throwing down a gauntlet.
Because I think the Edie Gourmet one has had its time.
Yeah.
Done with
Paul?
that.
That's the what did you see this week for the cruise ship.
Right, exactly.
We're huge on cruise ships.
Yeah, we are big. They love us there.
You can podcast us.
They'd podcast.
All right, so the point is...
What?
What'd you see this week?
Did you see this week? Okay. I saw a movie that have you been in this situation? I haven't been in this situation in a long time, but as I was watching the movie, I was thinking, why is this still happening? And when will it end? I was watching Salinger.
You mean the show?
The
we're doing?
movie
Oh, go
itself.
ahead.
No, this is fine. This is much more
Oh,
entertaining.
Salinger.
Wow. Okay, first of all,
It's a documentary, right?
It's a
Talking Heads?
documentary. But it takes the writer J.D. Salinger and it takes a subject matter that I didn't know anything about.
Father of Matt Salinger, played Captain America in the 1993 live-action movie. Go ahead.
That's good to know.
It's true.
All right.
They leave that out, though. They mention he's an
I-
actor, but they don't mention Captain America.
I would have enjoyed that information. But I've not read Catcher in the Rye. So I've not read the big to-do. So I was like, oh, I'm going to learn about him. Then I'm going to go right out and read it because I'll learn so much about this guy. And I'll be like, yeah. Okay, by the time I was done, I decided I'm never reading that because fuck this guy. He's a dick and he treats women really shitty. And not only does he treat women shitty in that, like, oh, I date everybody and I only go and have sex with 15-year-olds way, which, you know, I can respect. Guys are into that. But he does not even give women who are writers credit for their talent.
Welcome to Hollywood.
What a dick. Yeah. He was with this one woman that was like 18 and she was on the cover of Rolling Stone and she was this really great writer, but she wrote for Cosmo and stuff that women like. And so he snatched her up, of course, because she was hot and young. And then just discredited everything she had accomplished.
You know what your problem is?
What a dick.
You love the world. That's what
That's
he
what
told
he
her.
said to her. I was
Sounds like a
I
fascinating guy, but you really
hate
don't
you.
like the guy halfway through, and then you realize, do I really want to know more about this guy?
No.
Is that the one? Is that woman the one that went and married Charlie Chaplin?
No, but that woman was
Oh,
gorgeous.
okay.
I'm so glad she dodged a bullet, honey. Absolutely.
I saw a movie that you are going to love, Lee Caius.
Is it exactly what I expect it to be?
It is,
Okay.
I think. I saw Rush, the Ron Howard movie about
Really?
about IndyCar racing, which on Twitter I was
racing one?
corrected to be told Formula One racing, I guess.
Oh, well, I love that someone on
Thought it was
Twitter paid
IndyCar.
attention.
I
to
really
it.
thought we
exactly.
were going to get. I thought we were going to get nailed on the fact that our sound effects were actually NASCARs and not IndyCars.
Yeah, if someone could tell that, then that is that's
God
a hardcore
bless
racing
them.
guy.
You just gave it away.
But this movie's fantastic. All right, so
Yeah.
everyone should go and see it. I mean, it's classic entertainment. This is a great movie. You got this great rivalry between two big Formula One racers. You know, one is flashy and the other guy is more brainy, and there's amazing action sequences with the car races. They're filmed extraordinarily well. You got the big Hans Zimmer score going nuts. Chris Hemsworth as chops. You wonder if Thor, if is that enough to put him in a movie like this to play a character where a little more is going to be relied on him. He's great. You know, and Daniel Bruhl, who I've been waiting since Inglourious Basterds to see in another movie. Fantastic. You know, and there's heart, there's drama, there's everything. Great movie. Just
Was
a huge Hollywood entertainment for everyone
Was
who
it-
can go to a rated R movie.
Was it better than Talladega Nights, though?
I like Talladega
You know what?
Nights.
I'm only lukewarm
Are you
on
in it?
Talladega Nights.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but the baby Jesus. I love all that. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's just huge, high energy, fast moving, man. Just, you know, don't go to the bathroom. You'll miss something.
I'm not.
It's a great movie.
Not a fan of the car racing, sport. But it's not about car racing, really, is it?
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd love to
I'm
say
not-
it's more of a human drama, but no, really is about these guys and everything they want to do to beat the other guy.
Although that's
So,
got to open
you may
itself
not
up
like
to
it.
some cool shooting, at the very least. It's not something boring to shoot. I'm sure Ron Howard shoots the piss out of it.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
And that's pretty exciting stuff.
And,
Yeah,
here's the
dude.
other thing that you're going to love to hear, Lee. Because last week you said all these Ron Howard movies kind of have the Ron Howard sheen on them. Not this one. It's
Really?
fugly.
Dirty,
Yeah,
shitty.
it's dirty. It's
now I've heard the contrary. I've heard reviews where it's just a little too polished and a little too neat.
I disagree.
That
I
guy's
mean,
an
granted,
idiot,
it's not
yeah.
made by Aronofsky or anything, but
it's not shot through the laundry day lens, as we call it.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty dirty, and you learn some things about the conditions these guys raced under. You know, it's teeming rain, and they go on with the race.
Yep.
Of course, there's going to be an accident.
Yeah, you're
you know, and all
asking
these
for it.
horrible crashes during the whole
And
film.
holding their pee that long.
Oh yeah, that's
In these onesies.
That's a good
Yes.
point.
Onesie.
Oh, wait, do they? Do they?
Did they
Did they
pee
just-
in the car?
They
Or
didn't
did just
address
keep
that.
it in?
They didn't address that.
Oh, I would want to know about that. I agree with him.
Well, that's how I
You
got
would
the
think in a
name.
movie all
Joe's
about
right.
racing, they would take the time to.
No, that's how
Right?
The pee thing. Like,
I
I pissed
mean-
myself. I gotta come in, guys.
I mean, we know
Is
that
that
about
racehorses?
astronauts.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know. All right. good.
Well, that's why he was called Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder.
So highly
Zing,
recommend.
Hey.
Highly recommend Rush. So there you go. It came out last week, but
You know, you
going
say,
wide this week.
say the laundry day lens. That reminds me of something I wanted to ask Joe, because there's one movie that Joe is in that is definitely shot in the laundry day lens. And that's Domino.
Tony Scott, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were
God,
directed by
yeah.
Tony Scott. How many cameras were shooting you at any one time during that movie?
3,
Yeah?
probably.
Okay. It always looks like he's shot in 85 formats with cameras everywhere in the room.
There isn't a frame of that
So
movie
much
he doesn't screw
coverage.
with.
So
And
much
some
coverage.
post
yeah.
filter, some text on the screen, you name it, man. Everything. He's just pulled out all the stops in that movie.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Came out 8 years ago.
I will. I'll go.
You'll see it eventually.
Well, there's a great lap dance in that movie.
Oh, and
Does it happen to Joe?
Keira Knightley, were you in the room when she lap danced? No.
No, that
Too
wasn't
bad.
even her. It was a body double.
Was it?
Oh,
But
man.
very hot.
very hot girl.
Ruined.
Very
All right.
hot.
Movie's being ruined right now.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's
What else
okay.
do you want to know about Macy Gray? Let's move on.
What is happening?
What is? Oh boy.
I mean, it's starting to get bad outside. Anything could
And
happen.
it looks like the weather watch has turned into a weather warning.
See, that's not good.
So let's go quickly to our comestible meteorologist, Lucky Charms. Lucky, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, this is a Polish sausage alert for all of Cook County with a bratwurst warning for Kane County, with DuPage still under a Braunschweiger watch. Citizens are asked to stock up on yellow mustard, white onions, sweet pickle relish, dill pickle spears, sports peppers, and poppy seed buns. Don't forget the celery salt. Affected counties are urged to seek refreshment at one of their local bars. We'll keep you informed as the situation develops. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thank you
Wow,
very
that's
much.
good to know. Damn.
All right, thank you, Lucky. And now,
It's getting important.
Haha, said 5. What? Yeah, 5. Haha, question for other guests.
so what's wrong with that theme?
That one's great. We're just saying it's less
I just want to
eating
go on the
gourmet.
record as saying
That's a good one.
I'm on record as saying I like What Did You See Last Week? I have always liked it.
That segment, if you couldn't tell from the theme, is called 5 Questions for Other Guests, where we're going to ask Joe questions normally reserved for other guests. But since you're here, Joe,
We'll ask them to you.
We'll ask you.
Wait a minute. Who's the other person there?
Joe, answer me this.
No, we had some people that we were trying to get on the show. They couldn't make it. We had already written these interview questions for them.
I'm not calling them.
Now you're here.
We need you to give them give us their phone numbers if you
I think we still have Matt Craig on hold.
Right.
Joe, are you surprised you've led your team to a 3-0 record, even though you're really not that great of a quarterback?
I am a great quarterback.
That's
all
how.
it takes is an offensive-minded coach to take me to the promised land.
Oh, I
To
see.
take me to a Super Bowl and win.
And that's not Levy Smith.
Unfortunately, no. No, unfortunately, it's got to be an older, geekier, whiter guy.
Will there be any sideline shenanigans this season?
No. I think Trestman's going to keep everybody, at bay. No one's going to get in any, fights. Although there was a little bit of drama in the beginning when they weren't, I guess the offense weren't gelling with Trestman's, his new deal.
This is great. He's slipping in and out of improv. So if you didn't know,
Yeah.
I've
I
actually
have
moved
no
on to
idea
actually
what's
talking
going
about
on.
the Bears.
Oh, we're talking. Oh yeah, we're talking about
Nice.
the Chicago Bears.
Final question about this topic. Adam wanted to know. What was the question? How quickly will they drop out of the playoffs?
Oh,
no! Do you think you have what it takes to lose very quickly in the playoffs?
First round of the playoffs.
I think the true test will be if we can get past the Detroit Lions. Conference play, divisional play.
Who
That
would've
we can
thought
get past.
That's something you'd ever say.
What?
Do we have what it takes to get past the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I mean they're so good right now.
Yeah, they are.
There was a Second City sketch that I used to just love this one moment where they're talking about what do you do on Thanksgiving. What was that gentleman's name?
Oh, John Glazer's line was, watching the Lions lose.
That's what he did every Thanksgiving. Watching the Lions lose.
Eat turkey. I trace my hand.
I've actually
Watch the Lions lose.
I've actually sat with John Glazer watching the Detroit Red Wings lose.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that I don't mind so much. The Yankees of the
awesome.
hockey world.
That's so funny.
He's a big Detroit guy.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's from the heart.
That is
so
brutal
cool.
though, because I
Poor
do not
John.
like that guys like Hasek and Robitaille and all these guys go to Detroit just to win a cup, and they come back and you're supposed to be all excited for them. But it's Detroit. They gotta win something.
No.
Don't they?
They have enough cups.
But the town.
No, he's worried about the actual infrastructure,
Yeah.
I think. He's more concerned about people.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like the
Tigers
Red
winning
Wings.
the
Go
Lions
Tigers. Go
win
Tigers.
would.
Oh, you're from Detroit?
No.
No, I know.
I
He's
just
like,
feel for them, don't you? I mean, they don't even have
No.
RoboCop anymore.
Hell no. Burn the damn city down. Sorry, guys.
they're fighting to keep their art right now.
They burn their own city down. Like,
Yeah.
always. Constantly.
Because of
they
all those
rebuild
cup
it and
wins.
then build it down.
Yeah.
The celebrations.
Actually, Joe, I have a
Oh, yes,
question,
another
as,
question.
as well. What
Absolutely.
was it like working with Josh Holloway and Matthew Fox in Hawaii?
It was awesome. I'm not George Garcia, dude.
What? Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Shut
strip
up.
that out. That's all
You're
right.
stupid.
Lee, what the hell's wrong with
Do you get that a lot?
But I have gotten
bet
it.
you
But then I'm
do.
like, George Garcia's like 450 pounds.
Yeah, he's way bigger
But
than
the
you
TV, it's all special effects.
That's true.
It's true.
And also, people always had a problem with the fact that how long were they on the island and he didn't lose weight?
Yeah, that
Right?
that bugged me.
It
He
would've
was
been
the only
cool.
guy that didn't thin
Didn't
out.
thin out at all. I'm like, he could have lost. He would have lost at least water weight, right?
Should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
something.
maybe he smoked a lot of weed on the island. I'm
Well,
thinking.
He might have. He was always hanging out with Locke. Locke had some weird shit going on, so.
He's a
munchies on
good
the
guy,
island.
though. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's just. I don't think I look that much like him. Yeah, I got a chubby face. Yeah, I got long hair. Yeah, I got some facial hair. But he's a different guy, and I appreciate you.
Well, technically
it was all
speaking,
him. We tried
no,
not
no,
to do
no.
that joke.
Technically
That's all right.
speaking, these are questions for other guests, Joe. So,
Oh,
okay, so.
right.
All right, so ask George when he's here.
When he's here.
What's it
What's
like?
Will Smith like?
All right, so
What's Johnny Depp like? Yes.
here's a question
I
for
think
you.
we can get him on. I think Matt Craig knows him. Anyway,
We'll call Matt. Okay. All right, so Joe, are you excited to be around the original judges again? And what can we expect from the next season of The Voice?
What's the voice?
I
Wait.
have to say that I love that he said that.
Am I
Please
CeeLo?
tell me
is
that
it
you
a
don't
CeeLo
watch The
reference?
Voice.
What is the voice? No, it's a
Thank
singing.
God, it's a
No, I know.
singing show. But
It's a singing show.
we were just making a reference about. I think Christina Aguilera came back.
Oh,
that
Yeah.
question was for Aguilera, I think,
Yeah.
originally, but we're asking it of you.
wait, I do know this. I've slimmed down. I look hotter than ever. I'm
do
so
know
glad to be back with my family.
do know this.
There you go.
We are family at The Voice.
You
I'm
know,
just glad.
I want to tell you this because you
talking
hit a
talking
nail
points.
on the head. Paul and I were in Vegas this weekend, and we went to the Shintas, which is kind of fun. It's old Vegas, and we met the trombone player, and he was cool, and he was talking about some different gigs he had, and it's always just kind of neat to hear who else they've played with. And he's played with Robert Cray Band, and I think he's also played with toured with somebody else cool. I don't know.
Maroon 5?
Something cool like that.
Yeah.
But the greatest part was he said that the one gig that he kind of is disappointed that it turned out that it didn't happen was he was hired to play with Christina Aguilera. That she was going on this big world tour and it was going to be huge and they had a big band and it was all going really, really well until she fell off the wagon and binge ate and got huge.
Food wagon. Fell off
She
the
fell off
food
the
wagon.
food wagon and they canceled it. Isn't that terrible? Just because she gained weight, they canceled the whole thing. He said all those people were out of jobs because she gained weight.
Was that food weight?
It was some kind of weight.
Yeah.
So I just think that's interesting. You should say that.
French fries weight.
Food is
Food
delicious.
weight. Yeah.
Now, Joe, what I'd like to ask you is, since I think you're pretty intimately involved in some of these negotiations, what tax bracket should be excluded from healthcare and why?
Oh, I think the 1%.
That's right. They don't need health care, do they?
They don't need it. They can afford to buy
Robotic parts, maybe?
Organs.
Yeah.
They get organs.
They can
just buy
afford to have people, hire people to have children and harvest stem cells.
Oh, it's The Island. Now we're in The Island.
Yeah,
That's
see, I
a
like
movie.
how he thinks.
It's a movie.
Because then you can get exactly the
Does anyone
bone
know
marrow.
what that- Does anyone know what that fucking movie
I
is?
do know
The Island?
I like that movie.
Yeah.
I like Michael
No.
Bay.
Don't they have all those machines? Those they look like MRI machines where they can just heal.
Pyrogenic, or wait.
They can just
Pyrogenic-
heal disease and heal.
Oh, it's like
Elysium.
Elysium.
That's right.
Yeah, don't they have like a space station where they do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just send the rich people into space.
While the
big fan of
Mexicans
that.
are on Earth,
Right.
Yeah.
and you know
That was the movie you saw this week or last week.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. It took me a while, but yeah, it seemed like all the bad people, all the poor people.
The poor people were the bad people in that
The
movie?
poor people, the bad people, the people that were left on Earth to, decay
and
yeah.
It was
fend
Latino
for themselves.
and Matt Damon.
There were Latinos and then one white guy.
And the adventurers told about him. Yeah, that's great.
How will this one
And that-
white guy left on Earth get away from all the Mexicans? That is a totally great alternate telling.
But
of the
he's the
story.
one that saved all the Mexicans.
Well, that's
That's
true.
right.
That is
the
true.
white man saved.
Matt Damon
Ultimately,
All
Matt
the
Damon saves
Mexicans.
the Mexicans.
This is totally nothing to do with anything, but I know this is going to probably come off totally wrong. But
Oh, Jesus.
in the I know,
That
be
means
ready.
it will.
In the Three Amigos, when they go into the town, and which, by the way, I don't know if it's wrong to love the Three Amigos, but I love it with all my heart. When they go into the town and they do My Little Buttercup, and the Mexican dude behind the counter is like, "My little butter." Can you do that? Can you do that for me? Can you? Do you
That
know
was not Joe.
Who? What? No.
That was not me.
Who
Fred
was
is-
that guy?
That guy's-
You're confusing that bar scene with the very beginning of The Watch, I think, is
No,
where
do
you
you
remember
love
Joe
him?
from.
Like, when
that was
you're-
my father, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. When you were a kid, did you like look at him and go, "That guy's fucking awesome"?
That guy's name, not kidding, Fred Asparagus.
What? He's so
Check it up. Look it up.
great.
Fred Asparagus.
I love El Guapo. I love that whole friggin' movie.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
kidding you. That's the guy's
was
name.
it really a Mexican? Because
I don't
I
know.
think Mexican Latins are played by Italians mostly.
Oh, I'm Italian. I haven't played a Mexican. I
Well,
should start. I gotta
tan.
work on the accent.
Get a tan, honey.
I
You
know.
get tons of work.
Joe,
being a
what am I
chola.
thinking?
Final question for you,
Chola,
Joe.
yes.
What are your plans for selling out?
Ooh man, just to get on The Voice and
And eat whatever you want.
Eat the shit out of my fellow judges.
All right, and with that, let's get on to Karen's
Oh,
big
no.
thing.
Where are they?
The piece de resistance, the Reese's Pieces,
Ooh,
the
don't-
finally
don't
celebrating the
make it too
birthdays of
exciting.
those who make the movies. Here we go.
All right. Here we go. So I want to start off by wishing a happy birthday to Mr. Will Smith, who's turning 44, but can play anywhere from late 30s to 308. See, I figured out how old he was in Scientology years. All you have to do is multiply his age by 7.
Isn't that dog years?
It's the same difference, really. I don't know.
I think you multiply it by your income.
By your income, something like that.
Every birthday, I'm gonna. Joe, you ever work with Will Smith?
Yeah.
You did?
Twice, right?
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh, the.
Dude, whatever.
All right, I'm not even sure if Scientologists
No
celebrate
big deal.
birthdays.
No big deal.
Oh, I got a good story
Ooh,
about
yeah.
that. Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not sure if Scientologists even celebrate birthdays or if Will Smith is actually a Scientologist, but
Totally.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't
Didn't
know
hear it from me though.
why I'm talking about Will Smith so much because I really don't like his movies all that much. They're not really my thing, and he's always shoving his kids down our throats. Talking about throats, let's wish a happy birthday to Michael Douglas, who turned 68. That's so stupid, right? But can play anywhere from a TV star in the streets of San Francisco to a movie star in Black Rain. Did anybody see Black Rain?
Absolutely, it's
In
a
the
Ridley
theater.
Scott movie.
Did you really?
I thought you were going to say you could play a movie star in the streets of San Francisco.
Well, he could probably do that
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Well, why did you say Black Rain? Is the
I
other
tried
one?
to find. I was gonna do the Jewel of the Nile.
He's been in other bigger movies.
No, I know. I'm trying to find the crappiest movie he was
I
in.
do. He's in a bunch of good stuff. Maybe Ghost
was
in the
hard.
Darkness.
I'm telling you, I was like Jewel of the Nile. I don't know. Is Black Rain worse? I don't know. He's in good shit.
I was going to say, I think you discovered the truth about Michael Douglas is that he does not make bad movies.
Exactly. I know. Good boy. Here's something kind of fun. Did you know that Michael shares his birthday with his soon-to-be ex-wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is exactly 25 years younger than him? Same birthday. How interesting is that?
Did she finally come clean about how old she really is?
Well, yeah.
Catherine.
She is 44.
Joe, can you shed some light on that?
She's 93.
Thank you.
Scientology
Joe,
years. Yes.
Did you ever work with Michael Douglas a second time, Joe? Me? Yeah.
That's Will Smith.
In happier times, Catherine Zeta-Jones told Parade magazine in 2007 that Michael Douglas wooed her with the line, "I want to be your father." I'm sorry. I want to father your children. I'm sorry. I messed that up. It's much more romantic the other way. No. Do you want to tell us your Will Smith story?
No.
Are you sure?
Another time.
Okay, great. And lastly,
Don't do that here on the movie show.
and lastly, we want the man to get work again. That's all I'm saying. And lastly, happy birthday to the boss, Bruce Springsteen, who turned 64 but can play anywhere. Right? How awesome. And you guys had mentioned him earlier with like a movie from Jersey not having the boss in it. I thought that was interesting. He can play anywhere from Ashbury Park to Carnegie Hall.
Asbury.
Asbury, thank you. I put an H in there for no other. Does anybody know, you might know this, the first song that he learned to play on guitar? Or at least what band it was. Anybody know?
What did you see? What did you see?
Was it that? Was it the What Did You See
It's
This
the
Week
What
theme?
Did You... Yes. It was the Beatles, Twist and Shout.
Oh my God, I was going to say the Beatles.
How cool is that? He
So was
loved
I. And then I
the
thought,
Beatles.
What do you like better, Beatles or the Bears? Joe's a huge Beatles
I thought you were
fan.
going to do Beatles or Elvis. That's what you usually...
I go to Beatle Fest every year in Chicago.
Shut up. That's
for the past
cool.
like 20
Oh,
years.
shit.
That
I
is
take
really
my
cool.
I
family.
went one year. Saw Liverpool play that tribute band. They
That
were
is
great.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
Out
so fun.
at the airport. That was fun. By
most-
the way, did you see McCartney on Kimmel? You should look that up.
Oh,
if you
it's so
haven't yet.
cool.
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
a new song.
I wish I'd gone to that. He was playing.
I was in
we could have
Vegas.
gone.
So cool.
I like the Beatles.
A lot of time people ask you, do you like
Beatles.
Elvis or the Beatles? Well, it turns out that Springsteen likes both of them so much that he actually, and this is so wacky, he went to Graceland, and it was when, Elvis was still alive, and jumped over the fence and ran towards the house until he was stopped by security because he wanted to meet Elvis so bad.
I want to see
Could
Elvis.
you freaking imagine how crazy that is? And
Hey man, get off my lawn, man.
get him on it.
I just like the way you do your thing, shaking your hips out.
This is also kind of silly, but remember the sex doctor, Dr. Ruth Westheimer? Do you remember her?
Yeah.
God.
She once visited Bruce Springsteen backstage at a show.
Dead or alive?
I think she might be alive.
Canadian?
Canadian or alive? She said she went up to him and said that she likes his songs about love and sex, but wished that he'd mention contraception more in his songs.
It's so hard to work.
And that's why Dr. Ruth never wrote a lot of songs.
He doesn't get it.
Isn't that random? And then this is just kind of fun. It's a little interactive because you guys are talking about Bruce's music in the movies. I have a couple of really well-known ones here. Does anybody know a couple of movies that Bruce had some tunage in?
Philadelphia.
They won the Oscar for
Won
that.
the Oscar for that. Absolutely. That was out of, Streets
Jersey,
of Philadelphia?
Was he have a song in Jersey Girl? The Kevin Smith
I
movie?
think there's a movie named after one of his songs, but his song's not in it. There's some movies
That would be,
like that.
Jersey Girl. would be
Jersey
one.
Girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's like
Oh, yeah,
really famous ones, like Jerry Maguire. Anybody know
Oh, yes.
Secret Garden was that?
yeah.
Because
Oh,
they
yeah,
fall in
Secret
love
Garden. Yeah,
in
yeah.
that whole part. High
Oh,
Fidelity
yeah.
has the river in it. Roger and Me, and this one totally makes sense. My Hometown. Yes, pulled the heartstrings. And the most famous one is from one of those sex movies that we saw when we were kids. Risky Business, Hungry Heart.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Like we just talked about.
We just talked about that.
Everything comes together
Comes
at the
around
end.
full circle.
Life is a herald.
And like, and as we said, he won an Oscar in 1993 for his music in the movie Philadelphia.
And yet again,
He's
we've
the shit.
educated as much as we've entertained.
That's right.
Thank
I
you,
think
Karen.
that was the movie where it was supposed to be called Born in the USA, and he has to
Oh, that would,
use that title, and he wrote Philadelphia for the movie.
that's really interesting. Yeah.
I think that's
And
that's the story.
we learned last week, because I love Bill Murray, we learned that the character, was it the Tom Hanks character?
Yeah.
Was supposed to be played by Bill Murray. How different would that movie have been?
Ew.
Right? That would have been weird. I love Bill Murray, but I don't know how to
That would have been amazing, actually.
That would have been wild.
Well, I now have a super somber song to take us
know.
out. But that wraps another movie showcast, everybody. Together we are the movie guys. Individually we are.
Yeah,
Follow us on Twitter at The Movie Guys. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/The Movie Guys, as well as YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn, all that shit.
And keep an eye out for Joe Nunez.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can't miss him.
BearsPodcast.com, correct?
BearDownPodcast. Bear Down Podcast.
Bear Down Podcast.
Bear Down Podcast.
Also,
Bear Down
if you
Podcast.
see him on the street, go up to him, ask for him to do lines for you. Facebook him, Twitter. If you get a picture with him, that'd be great. Maybe call your grandma, leave a message.
Insult my mother.
He
whatever
loves
you
it.
want.
Get an autograph now before he's in Star Wars, and then the whole thing takes off.
Oh, we'll never be able to see him again. He won't come to this garage.
Special thanks to Jamie Clark Ilvington, in charge of watching the board and location scouting, and of course Steve Schultz for his writing contributions to the show every week. And remember, you can find everything we're up to at themovieguys.net. Thanks for listening.
It is mellow, yeah.
There's the rain on the streets of Philadelphia.